First, I'd like to thank my friends who I couldn't have survived high school without, and I'd like to thank my parents who I would not have passed high school without. So for all of us here on stage, the essences of life and woods have combined and become one. Starting with preschool, many of the lessons that we carry all throughout our lives are learned within classroom walls. Within these walls, one book among the many read has unanimously been dubbed our favorite, The Phantom Tollbooth, assigned to us in 6th grade by the lovely Mrs. Berg. Amidst the clever and continuous wordplay throughout this book, the main character, Milo, finds himself learning key lessons for life as well. Upon entering the land of expectations, Milo was told, "Expectations is the place you must always go before you get to where you're going." Of course, some people never go beyond expectations, but it is my job to hurry them along whether they like it or not. This is just as my class, who quickly learned to anticipate the unknown, has been guided by our teacher's careful watch. We found out that the numerous tribulations that come along with believing that our side of things is the only and correct side, much like Milo discovered in the dense forest of point of view. Isn't this everyone's point of view? Of course not. It's only mine. And we certainly can't always look at things from someone else's point of view. For instance, from here, that looks like a bucket of water. But from an ant's point of view, it's a vast ocean. From an elephant's, just a cool drink. And to a fish, of course, it's home. As humans, we remain struggling to overcome certain faults, such as allowing wrongful assumptions to be made by our own ignorance, similar to the characters as they landed in conclusions. Every time you decide something without having a good reason, you jump to conclusions whether you like it or not. The only way back is to swim, and that's a very long and very hard way. Which is a quote, by the way, I'm reading quotes. Needless to say, the drama of high school has jumped us to conclusions many times. The feeling of senioritis has been something that we as students have felt long before our final year of high school. And without a doubt, we have surely depicted the lazy lethargarians who encourage endless slumber. "Don't say think," said one sitting on his shoe, for the one on his shoulder had fallen asleep. "It's against the law," and he yawned and fell off to sleep too. And while we each easily had our moments of idle time wasting, like the trivium, and bouts of grouchiness as seen in the humbug, Woods has acted as a quiet and creative refuge and guided us back time and time again. As they turned down the last aisle of stalls, Milo noticed a wagon that seemed different than the rest. On its side was a small, neatly lettered sign that said, "Do it yourself," and inside were 26 bins filled with all the letters of the alphabet from A to Z. These are for the people who like to make their own words. Woods and life have provided us with the beauty of rhyme and reason, which coincidentally happens to be the names of the two beloved princesses in the story. Woods, a community that is based on friendliness and altruistic nature, has seen our class as the most encouraging and supportive group that it's ever seen before. And so to close, I say to my supportive familial classmates, to whom I hold the highest of regards, in the words of the princesses, rhyme and reason, "You may not know it now, but whatever we learn has a purpose, and whatever we do affects everything and everyone else, even in the teeniest way. Whenever you laugh, gladness spreads like the ripples in a pond, and whenever you're sad, no one anywhere can be really happy. And it's much the same with knowledge, for wherever you learn something new, the whole world becomes that much richer. And remember that many places you would like to see are just out of sight or a little beyond your reach, but someday you'll reach them all. And for what you learn today, for no reason at all, will help you discover the wonderful secrets of tomorrow." Thank you. The fact that we said the same thing wasn't just a coincidence, we're actually soul sisters.